Move right and catch his arm like this.
这打上了，
Now move forward
然后我
with your right foot
我
as you
上
pull
我
your opponent into you.
然后下面动作，然后
As you advance,
同时向下
push him downward as you pull his arm down.
做一个
You are using your shoulder and your body weight to knock him down.
这样的动作，这个也是非常实用的动作。
This is a simple and effective technique.
这个动作呢，我再演练一遍。
Here is another technique using inch power.
寸劲打，
You must remember to leave an inch of space in order to generate the power in your strike.
踢到你180寸劲，
It is a different technique than a regular palm strike.
寸劲留好。
We will move our energy in a circle like this.
像一个重力这样砸上去一样，很沉。所以呢，对方呢，他飘的时候呢，你一打他都坐了，可以把对方打坐的。OK。那下面呢，我
When your opponent attacks you,
寸劲打的哈。
you will evade and parry.
对方用拳打我的时候，
Parry like this
我可以这样去拨打，我可以这样。
or like this.
好，我们先做一个相。
For now, we will evade to the outside, circle his arm down and out until his body is open. At this point, you can use your inch power and strike down.
走这个寸劲，你看，然后呢，我的身体
You must move your whole body at once in order to develop inch power.
这样打。
The force will send your opponent to the ground face first.
OK， 好，下面我们做一次这样的动作。Normal speed。OK。好，这个
You must use your whole body for this
一
technique.
定要下沉，把寸劲留好，记到这一点就行了。
This is a technique against a grab and a punch. When your opponent grabs your wrist, you can twist right or left. It doesn't matter. Then, when they punch, block their punch as you maneuver your right hand close to his body. Now apply 1 inch power like this. This attack can be devastating. Your right hand can be up or down for your 1 inch power, depending on how you rotated your wrist in the beginning. Your other hand pulls your opponent close to you, so you can apply the inch power. With this counterattack against a punch, we're going to strike with an uppercut and a forearm.
对方还是用这样的，他来打的时候呢，用拳打我的时候呢，直拳。
When he punches, I'm going to move left and redirect his arm down as I uppercut him in the chin.
打对方的下颌，
Then I will follow this up with an elbow to his chest.
这个空档出现了，然后再这就力走打对方。
This is a very damaging counterattack, especially if you use your power from your elbow to the sternum. It is a very simple and effective technique.
通常来讲就把别人打坏了。
This is another counter where you will strike with an elbow strike. When your opponent punches with his right, you will move right and catch his arm with both hands. Now use your elbow to attack him with inch power. From here, you can apply inch power with your elbow when you move forward and strike. You can let go of his hand when you strike, and they will fall. Now we will show you how to counterattack a punch using a shoulder. You can use the front or back of your shoulder. For this technique, we will use the back of the shoulder. When your opponent punches, step right and redirect his arms down, around, and up until his body is exposed. At this point, check his leg with your leg like this. From here, you can use the back of your shoulder to attack like this. You should hit him in his exposed ribs. Let's see it one more time. For this technique, you want to step out and in, using your shoulder for impact. The previous technique used the back of the shoulder. Now we will use the front of the shoulder. When your opponent punches, move right and parry. Now advance to his back and strike the back of his arm with the front of your shoulder. Using this counter, you must strike precisely and solidly with your shoulder to apply the proper leverage to take him to the ground. The strength from your strike comes from the pivoting of your hips. This is a simple and effective technique. When your opponent grabs your wrist, twist your hand in and up. At this point, there is a space between your opponent's palm and your wrist. Move your elbow forward toward his elbow. This will send your attacking force through their locked straight arm to their elbow. The key point is the snap. If you move forward while you snap your elbow towards your opponent's, you can break his elbow. This technique is a variation on Chin Na 1. your opponent grabs your wrist, twist in and up as you step forward, and press down here while pushing forward with your elbow. This motion causes the joints in his fingers to hyperextend. This technique applies pressure on the opponent's wrist and all through his arm. If you do this fast, there is no escape for him. The pain in his fingers and arms alone will cause him to submit. What happens when your opponent grabs both of your wrists? Same as before, twist both your wrists in and up, and then push your elbows toward their elbows. This is a dangerous technique. If done properly, you can break your opponent's arms. So be very careful when you practice this technique. See the pressure on the wrist and arms? This movement applies the leverage through here. You do not have to twist your wrists in. For this technique, we will twist our wrists out and up. Wrap your hands on top of their arms, now they cannot escape. Press down, and they will go down. If your opponent grabs both of your wrists, you could ignore one if you want. Twist one wrist up and out. Then with your other hand, apply pressure down on their arm. When your opponent grabs both of your wrists, you can do this. Move one hand forward, pull the other back, like this. From here, ignore this hand and apply pressure down here. You can twist both wrists at the same time like this. Now he cannot escape. For this technique, push your right hand forward as you pull back with your left. Wrap your right arm around his shoulder as you twist your left hand up. Now bring your right hand back, trapping his arm against your body, and he cannot escape. There are many things you can do when your opponent grabs you in this way. You can twist both hands like this and grab their elbow like this. Now pull their elbow as you push their hand out. Then twist their arm. From here, you can hit them in the head with your own arm. Make sure you control their wrist and elbow. If your opponent grabs your forearm, twist your arm out and up. Now grab their wrist with your other hand and apply pressure here. Your leverage comes from their elbow. With this movement, roll your arm and press down. If your opponent grabs your wrist with his opposite hand, twist your hand in and up. Now, grab their arm and bring it back to here. Now he cannot escape. This technique begins the same as Chin Na 11. From here, turn yourself around to twist their arm like this. Now you can switch hands and apply pressure to the shoulder here. Pull their hand in and push the shoulder out. Chin Na is very versatile, and there are many things you can do if your opponent is foolish enough to try and grab you. When your opponent grabs you from behind with both arms, turn your arms inward as you raise them and lower your body. Your opponent will no longer have any leverage in his hold. Grab your opponent's arm, it doesn't matter which arm. Then step back and turn your body forward to throw your opponent to the ground. This movement uses the power of your waist to throw your opponent. Against the same grab, grab your opponent's hands, raise your arms, and drop down to escape the hold. From here, lean forward as you step back behind your opponent's leg. Turn forward, and your opponent will go to the ground. This is a good defense against a grab from behind. This technique is both simple and effective. Another variation of the sleeper hold counter. With both hands, press down on your opponent's forward elbow. Then lean back into your opponent and turn your body down and clockwise until you escape. From here, grab onto your opponent's exposed arm and take him to the ground counterclockwise.